Always a pleasure to catch up with my next guest. It is UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski, who puts his title on the line against Brian Ortega in the co-main event of UFC 260. Alex, how's it going today?
I'm very, very good. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. I can see that picture of the 400-pound Alex Volkanovski making rounds online. I've even seen a couple websites pick up articles on it thinking that it's real, which is hilarious.
Yeah, with that, I felt bad because I thought everyone seen the normal transformation picture, and someone photoshopped it, and I just thought he did such a great job. It looked legit. I'm like, I've got to get that out there. I was there. I felt bad with how many people actually believed it. I was like, oh shit, I better say something about this, eh?
Yeah, yeah. By the way, where did that, like, I mean, the real one, not the Photoshop one. That picture, was it something that you posted a while back and people kind of dug it up, or how did this kind of picture surface? Because I know it's something that people keep talking about all the time.
Yeah, no, it has been. I've shared it before. I've shared it a while ago, and yeah, it just pops up here and there, but. This one just definitely took off because they added probably another 150, 200 kilos. Would definitely look like that. So, mate, like I said, he did such a great job that even I was like thinking, man, I had to take a second look. I didn't look like that, did I? But then I was looking, I was like, man, that's photoshopped well. He did a good job.
Well, speaking of, how's cooking with Volk going, or are you kind of avoiding trying to reach that 400-pound Alex Volkanovski in fight camp?
Well, yeah, that's probably what people were thinking. They see this cooking with bulk, and then they see this photo. They're like, "What is that? How Alex was featherweight? Now he's 400 pounds from this cooking with bulk." But cooking bulk's fun. It's gone good. Everyone knows I love my cooking. Everyone knows I love to cook my own barbecues and my steak and all that type of stuff. So yeah, I just thought, you know what? Let's get it on film and show everyone my great work. It's going good.
Do you handle your own nutrition, or do you have a nutritionist working with you for your weight cut and stuff?
I've got a nutritionist, Geordie, the flight dietitian, he's called. So he does pretty much everyone on this side of the world, to be honest. Like, he does all the boys at City Kickboxing, everyone pretty much in Australia and New Zealand. He does a great job. He's got it down pat, and, he looks after us even out of camp and in camp leading into it. So there's a lot that gets into that. So even when I'm doing this cooking with Volk, everything's portioned. I don't go too crazy like I used to. But we're on point now. This is probably the leanest I've been throughout out of camp. Like, obviously I'm in camp now, but I was out of camp and I kept my weight at a reasonable weight. I wasn't shy getting that shirt off. Uh, you know, 12, 13 weeks out from my fight, which is usually it's unusual. I usually get my shirt off towards the end of camp and start showing off a little bit, but I've had my shirt off all summer, which has been good.
Was that intentional? You trying to keep your weight down? Was it because you just didn't know exactly when you were going to fight, or anything like that?
Well, yeah, like I guess, yeah, wanting to fight and just wanting to be at a good weight, good weight. I know I love my food, but at the same time, I'm getting better with not overindulging. Because I've got a sweet tooth, and even just you've seen how I used to look. Look at them old photos. So it's took a while for my stomach to really shrink. Because there was a lot of times where in camp, like, I do not get full. You do not get full. Like, you are never full. But now my stomach's starting to shrink, and I'm doing such a better job with in between camps. I'm not blowing out. I'm not going crazy with the food. Where now I'm comfortable with just a nice meal. I'm able to portion my meals and be very satisfied with it, which is pretty good. It took me 10 years, but hey, we're here.
Yeah, and you said you have a sweet tooth. What's kind of like the hardest thing to refrain from for you?
Chocolate, man. I'm a chocolate guy. I love chocolate. So we're just, yeah. So I still have ice cream. I'm still allowed to have ice cream again because I'm at a decent weight. We've got a ice cream in the nutrition in our meal plan, which is pretty cool. So I get to have that every night. But again, it's just that's better as well. Like when you start at a better weight, you can sort of eat better during, even though we eat well, because obviously we need to train. It's not about just losing weight. You need to be able to perform in the gym, where a lot of people forget that. They're just so worried about getting that weight off that they just have barely anything to eat, and they struggle. That's when they get sick and all this type of stuff. Don't get me wrong, I've done that myself, but now I've got nutritionists on board. and we've got everything down pat, and I'm getting full. During camp, which is really good.
Awesome. And you're spending this training camp in Sydney, correct? Like you haven't made the trip down to City Kickboxing?
Yeah, couldn't make it over there because again, this side of the world, it's obviously there's still a lot of restrictions as well, and they're pretty tight knit with everything. So we try to get over there and do some of our camp there, but we couldn't do so. So we've did the same thing as last time, where we're just bringing a whole heap of Australian talent to us. So we've got a few guys that are probably going to be fighting. We might have someone fighting on the same card, but we've got a couple of guys, UFC fighters, and very, very high level, like lightweights coming, and even welterweights that are going to be coming still. But we've got a few guys with us now, and camp's gone really good. So it's just it's good because we've got our normal schedule that we always do, but now we're sort of doing our own fighters a sort of schedule, where everything's very specific, and because we've got a couple of guys fighting, everyone that's there is just focusing on these two fighters that are fighting, 2-3 fighters, where it's really good. So we really get to just zone in onto exactly what we need to do, and everything's just fight specific. You know what I mean? There's no wasted time at all. There's no just going through the motions. Everything is just on point, and it's good. It's good to do that. Obviously, it's good to be with a big team and doing all that type of stuff as well. But we're unfortunate where we can't be over there at City Kickboxing. So right now we're just bringing everyone to us, and we're just focusing on getting that work in, and it's been good. So I'm already in a very good nick. I'm always in good nick. I try and stay fit, but right now, very happy where we are, and I can't wait to put on a show.
Awesome. And this fight is going to be in Las Vegas. Again, it's no crowd. I remember last time I spoke to you about your last fight in Abu Dhabi. It had no crowd, and you were talking about kind of the adrenaline and the energy and stuff like that. What do you feel like you took away from that experience? Because again, there will be no crowd in Las Vegas. I know Abu Dhabi had a few, like a couple thousand. Seemed like a lot more. I was there. It seemed like a lot more than 2,000. I'm just going to say that. But they had some fans. This time you're going to compete again without any fans. So what did you take away from your experience fighting in July that you want to take into this one?
Yeah, well, exactly. I'm glad I experienced that. I remember how it was. I wish I was on a fight island again with that crowd, but we can't do that. We're going to be in Vegas, which is perfectly fine. But the fact is that I know. Well, I experienced it. Last time I felt like I was a little underdone with my emotions and my energy, and how could I say, my adrenaline, because I was trying to control it. As we talked last time, I was trying to control it so much because I'm so good at doing that. Even with arena, full arena, I'm so good at keeping myself level. I try to do the same thing with no crowd, and it was weird. It was like I was just sitting in bed, just chilling. So right now I know that, so I'm aware of that now. I'm not going to try and control my emotions so much. I'm gonna soak up whatever energy I can, let the adrenaline go. I'm gonna actually let the emotions fly. I want to do that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make my own energy. Where I'm usually pulling up. Hey, settle yourself down. You got a job to do. All this type of stuff. Don't get too excited. But right now, I'm going to be like, hey, get excited. You know what I mean? I'm going to get myself excited. I'm going to pump myself up, and that'll get the adrenaline running, and that'll keep me sharp. That'll keep me on point. My reactions on time, on point. Everything else will be there, but I want that reaction there. I want to be fast. I want to be, I want to see everything in there, as well as being crisp and just the reactions on point. So I believe again, I'm lucky I experienced that on Fight Island, the no crowd, where now I adapt. Everyone knows I'm very good at adapting, so I'm going to adapt this time. I guarantee you I'm going to be full of energy, and I'm going to be sharp.
For sure. And you get a fresh challenge. I know that's been something that we've spoken about a lot, about you getting a fresh face. And we spoke before the Ortega zombie fight, and everyone's raving about kind of Brian Ortega 2.0 and his performance. I want to know what you thought, not only of his performance, but what are kind of the main changes that you saw in his game? Obviously, it was predominantly striking that we saw from him, but what are the main kind of advancements that you saw in his game and his performance against the Korean zombie?
Yeah, well, Brian's always been a great fighter. You know what I mean? I talk about and I say about his improvements as if, he wasn't ever, like, the way I say it, it almost seems like I'm saying, yeah, as if he wasn't good. He's always been a great fighter. and he's always had a lot of good skills. But I believe that he had he added a few. He has evolved. This whole Ortega 2.0. I believe it. I've seen a different fighter in there, and he was a lot more. Even though he's always been dangerous, he's always been good at timing and picking the right shots. But right now, he's all the in betweens. He's just got down pat at the moment, which was really good. Again, I won't get into detail, but there's a lot of things that I've seen that was impressive. So I'm expecting obviously a new challenge, a tough challenge, and different challenges. We've got someone that again, I'm not gonna sit there and roll around on the ground and play jiu-jitsu with him. Let's be realistic with that. He's a type of guy that you slip up on the ground, that's it, over. So again, the respect's there for Ortega. I'm ready for a challenge, but at the same time, I'm just going to keep telling everyone that I believe myself. I'm too confident in my abilities, and I know where I'm at, and I just don't believe anyone's there with me. And again, if I'm on the day, no one can beat me. And again, Ortega, yeah, he has improved, but I just have to prove that I'm on a whole nother level. And come fight time, I'm going to be fit. I'm going to put on a pace. That's something that we're definitely going to see. It's going to be a high pace fight that no one can deal with, and I don't care who it is in front of me. When I put that pace on, they are going to slow down. I guarantee it.
That being said, do you see it primarily playing out on the feet? I know he's not exactly a wrestler. He's not a guy that really goes too much for the takedowns. He did mix it up a little bit with Zombie when he had him hurt. But do you see this fight playing primarily on the feet, or do you feel like he's going to resort to a bit of wrestling? Because I think he showed some advancements there too.
Well, this is MMA, and again, you're going to play what's in front of you. So while we're fighting, I feel, again, I'm talking about putting a high pace, and when I'm putting that pressure, there's going to be decisions there where there's people are going to look for, they might not crumble, but they're going to want to slow things down. Whether the punches aren't working, this ain't working. They might do panic shots or things like panic punches and things like that. So I'm expecting him to still shoot, but again, he always says he's not worried about wrestling because if someone wants to take him down, he's happy to get on his back. But there's going to be times where obviously things aren't going to go his way, and then I feel like he will definitely be looking for the takedown. I do believe it will be a stand-up fight. But again, to say that I'm scared to be on the ground with him, no. Am I scared to play jiu-jitsu and just roll around and play jiu-jitsu, BJJ with him? No. But I mean, again, this is MMA. I'm not gonna play that. This is MMA. I'm allowed to use elbows. I'm allowed to use punches. There's certain things that I can do that are gonna make big differences. We've got cages in there. You know what I mean? So it's not. It is a different world when you're talking about cage. And I believe that no one does better than me inside the octagon. I know how to use every inch of that octagon to a T. You know what I mean? I know exactly where I am. I know where I need to be safe. I know. You know what I mean? So to say that I will not go anywhere near the ground at all, that's wrong. But will I sit there and lay on my back and let him pass my guard or sit in my mount, or they'll mount me, or am I going to play guard? No, I ain't playing any of that. I can guarantee you that. But at the same time, I ain't letting him get close to this neck. But I won't be scared to be on top of him, punching the head through the canvas, as I say.
And I don't know what the betting odds are going to look like when the fight comes close, but I feel a lot of people are super high on him now. He's gone through kind of a roller coaster. He went from losing the Max fight, people downing him, to now touting him as the next champion. Do you pay mind to any of that stuff? Because I know you've been on both ends, kind of like, oh, Alex is a future champion when you're climbing on the rise, and now people are kind of starting to kind of underestimate you, talk about your rematch with Max and stuff like that. Do you pay mind to that kind of stuff, and them kind of talking about Ortega being a future champion and he's going to dethrone Alex and stuff like that? Does that still kind of piss you off? Do you pay mind to it? How do you kind of look at all that stuff?
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me because at the end of the day, I always say I love being the underdog anyway. Am I going to be the underdog for this fight? I think I still believe, I don't know. We will see. If we do, I don't care. I'm going to make my supporters money. That's how I look at it. So I love being the underdog. I love people doubting me. That's what I want. I mean, I'm always going to, I'll rise to the occasion. I don't care what anyone says. But, that's just how it is, man. as you said, I've been underdog plenty of times. People have tried telling the world that, oh, Alex got no chance because of this, and I proved them wrong in so many ways. They look like absolute idiots with what they were saying. You completely shut the person down, completely opposite, against all the things that they were saying. So people are going to say whatever they want. At the end of the day, I'm just going to go there, prove them wrong again, and then let them doubt me again after that. Again, I'm going to keep making my boys money, making my supporters money, and I love it. So I love being the underdog. I don't mind it one bit. So bring it on. I hope he's favorite, honestly.
And if you beat Brian, I mean, I look at your resume, it's super underrated. I mean, you will have had wins over Jose Aldo, Max Holloway twice, Chad Mendes, who's one of, in my opinion, the best featherweights to never win a title, and then adding a guy like Brian Ortega. And I look at the division, and it's crazy every time we talk, we mention there's a beat in the Yairs, and they still don't have fights booked. When you look at that, I mean, should you beat Ortega? Not that you're going to look past him or anything like that, but that's one incredible resume. Where do you feel like that puts you in terms of the greatest featherweights of all time?
Man, that puts you up. That has to put you up there. Again, it's with time. Again, like right now, we're in it's a weird sort of position. I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, it's a weird sort of position. Obviously, the last fight being a close fight, and people, taking it the way they have, and all that type of stuff. Look, I've accepted that. We're all gonna move on. I guarantee you, my next fight, that's going to change. People's opinions are going to change and all that type of stuff. Time will heal that. But again, you look at that resume, as you say, and, taking out guys like Chad Mendes, Aldo, Max Holloway, people, want to say, act like there's bad blood. I respect all these fighters, even Max Holloway. And, people talking about his last fight, and, that just proves he's still in his prime. And, whether people like it or not, I'm 2-0 against him in his prime. So that just shows you what level I'm at. And the guys that I've beat them, even with Aldo, he was on a tear, obviously he had the losses, and then he was coming back. He was taking out all the number one contenders, and people thought, here he is, 3-round Aldo. No one can beat him, you know what I mean? No one can beat 3-round Aldo. And I went out there and completely shut him down, So it just, the guys I've taken out, and even the timing of taking them out, I still feel like, people are, give me a fight or two, and then people are going to really realize. But again, I'm an honest man. I'm a real, I'm just real, and I understand, some the defenses that Aldo has that's going to be something that you need defenses. You need to go out there, defend it, and take out guys. You know what I mean? Take out them number one contenders to really solidify yourself as a GOAT. And I understand that, but I'm in a pretty good position, taking out the guys that I have, how well respected them guys, them champions were, and taking them out. I mean, that definitely shows you that I'm right up there, and with a couple of defenses, I'm chasing that GOAT status. So again, nothing but respect to everyone. But hey, I'm taking that GOAT status, and it's not going to be too long before people realize that.
And you've been saying it from the get-go. I remember watching like pre-fight interviews before you were champion. You were talking about that. You were talking about I want to be the featherweight GOAT. So that's been a long time goal of yours.
Yeah, well, there's many goals. I played so many goals, even during the day. I've got so many goals, the months, the years, the fight after that. My division. It just goes on. There's no end goal. That's what I like to tell everyone. There is no end goal for me. There's goals, but that's not my end goal. So people are like, oh, now you're champion. What's your motivation? Well, trust me, there's motivation. I want that GOAT status. And then after you get that GOAT status, you want to be double champ. You want to be, it's going to keep going. Then after your MMA career, then you want to be successful here, and you're going to have all these other goals. So that's how I work. That's how my brain works. I'm a pretty motivated type of guy, and there's going to be goals. And again, my goals don't end at GOAT. So we're going to keep going. I want to be. Even if the goat of the UFC, pound for pound, you know what I mean? Like, that's up there, but right now I want to be go to my division. I want to stay champion. I want to be go to my division. Then we go double champ. Then we're talking about pound for pounds and all that type of stuff. It's going to keep going. But again, let's tick these little goals off in front of us right now, because, hey, we're going to be challengers. Let's be realistic about it. Let's take out these challenges, prove ourselves time and time again. Them goals, them goals later on are just going to be around the corner, but before you know it.
I respect that. And Yeah, you touched about that a little bit. So do you see lightweight in your future? I know you're focused on featherweight now, but do you see lightweight in your future?
Yeah, I do. Again, there's no end goal, but I'm the type of guy that I'm going to have a focus, and I've said it from day one, even before I was champion. I'm not going to be chasing chasing other fights and doing all this sort of stuff. I'm going to worry about my division, but at the same time, there's going to be times in your division where we're waiting, we're seeing who's number one contender. The division's got to play itself out. There was times not that long ago, it seemed like I was waiting for the Zombie and Ortega, or was a bit what's happening here. So there's going to be times like that, and there's going to that's going to open doors for times to move up to lightweight and things like that. And hey, 400-pound Volk, let's see if we can go to heavyweight. We'll move our way up. I've fought at middleweight. You got to remember, I've had a few fights at middleweight. I fought a fair bit of my pro career in welterweight, lightweight, and then featherweight. So I'm used to the big boys. So I still train with guys that are twice the size of me. That's just the type of guy I am. So man, moving up isn't going to be a problem. It's just got to be the timing. It's all about the timing. But right now, I've got Ortega in front of me. He's got my full concentration, all respect, and I'm going to go out there and prove myself, and that's it.
And you're right. Timing is a great point because your teammate Israel Adesanya. I mean, he was looking at certain contenders like Darren Till, like Jared Cannonier, and kind of Robert Whitaker, who he beat not too long ago in very impressive fashion, had kind of eliminated those, and he was like, you know what? Now is a good timing to move up to light heavyweight. So you're right. Timing is everything.
Yeah, exactly right. That's you hit the nail on the head with that one. I feel that's exactly right now. I think that's great for him. Again, he's a teammate of mine, so I know him really well, close to him. So I'm very, very happy for him as well. I think this is a great fight. I think all respect to Jan as well, but at the same time, I think stylistically, this is going to be a good one for him. Obviously, there's going to be that power difference, but I believe, when it comes to striking, you can nullify that power with skill and precision, distance, and all this type of stuff. The little details that people keep forgetting about. And I think this is a great fight, for a great opportunity for him. And I think we're going to see a double champ. So I can't wait.
And I'll leave you with a couple more questions, and I appreciate your time. We spoke about Max a couple of times throughout this interview, I know, but I know a lot of people after his last performance against Calvin Kattar are bringing up the trilogy again, and I know that was something that was brought up to you, and you were talking about wanting to fight these different contenders. Do you feel like his performance over Calvin excited you a little bit more for the trilogy, or does your stance stay the same? Because I know you made that comment like he's not going to put up those numbers against me.
Well, look, you made a sick of talking about it, to be honest with you, but at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time,
No, you're right.
Man,
You're right.
Look. It's fine. Obviously, I've got Ortega in front of me, and he's got my full focus. But to say that it's never going to happen, you know what I mean? That's probably a lie. He's doing what he has to do. So people are saying whatever they want, but Max knew he was in a position where, all right, the trilogy is silly. I'm going to go out and prove myself and fight contenders, and that's what he's doing. So good on him. You know what I mean? But again, as I said, you're not going to get them numbers with me, and I mean that. All respect, he looked great. But again, these are different human beings in front of them. They're not me. But at the same time, he's doing the right thing by fighting and showing that he's going to be number one contender. But right now, Ortega's my number one contender. You know what I mean? And this, again, a new tough challenge for me that I'm looking forward to, and he's got my full focus. So again, I'm still happy to answer some of them questions, but at the same time, Ortega's got my full focus.
No, by the way, you're 100% correct about feeling that way, because I feel like we do bring it up a lot, and I think because we forget about the whole timing thing, because I know. You didn't fight him too long ago. It's just in July. So I know, this is the fight game. We kind of talk about things changing like crazy by fight, but it was just July. So I totally get where you're coming from.
Man, let's be real. That's always going to come up, and that's always going to be, a big fight. That's always going to be a big fight. And you know what I mean? There's going to be money in it. It's going to make sense. Obviously, the timing isn't right now. I've got Ortega in front of me. I'm going to focus on that. I can worry about that. Look, again, I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, it's definitely going to happen. But Yeah, it probably will. But further down the track, right now, I've got a division to worry about. I've got Ortega to worry about, and he's got my full focus. You know what I mean? Obviously, everyone's going to keep trying to push Max. You know, they've been pushing him for so many years, and you know, obviously, they're still trying to do that. Even though I'm 2-0 against the man, but hey, that's just how it is, man. I'm real. So yeah, people are going to ask the question. I will answer it, but at the same time, I'll let you know that I've got Ortega in front of me, and that's all I'm worried about. And I'm going to do my thing, and we'll see what happens after that. Ortega, if you're watching, you got my full focus, mate. Don't you worry about that. I'm coming for you.
Well, I gotta say, like the build up between you and Ortega has been cordial. I did speak to him about you. It was before his zombie fight, and he had nothing but respect towards you. I believe you said you had a brief conversation with him the time. I don't know if it was during the UFC 248 fights when he had that incident with Jay Park, but I believe you had a kind of conversation with him, right?
Yeah, we did. Well, look, man, it was you know, people are going to obviously. Yeah, I've seen some people be like, "Oh, man, you shouldn't be slapping someone like." But at the same time, the guy was saying stuff. He was saying stuff about both of us, actually. Like I think he was translating, and obviously this was the phase that Korean Zombie was going through, and you know, obviously his team was telling him, you know, you got to do this, you got to do that. You know, he wasn't being real. You know, they were making him do stupid things, and he's one of his good, you know, one of his boys got slapped up for it. So you know, I don't feel. You know, to be honest, good on Ortega for doing that. You know, I mean, I went up and I said that to him, but like, I went over there because I expected something to happen because Ortega said he was going to slap him. And I knew that because I was still in these conversations as well because their team and Zombie were trying to talk trash to me as Ortega. So I was in that conversation. I was aware of it. And he says, you want to translate for him? I'll slap you too. And once I heard he did, I go, hey, he said he was going to slap him. So I ended up talking to Ortega about it. I went, oh, what happened? Because my coach seen it all. I was backstage with Israel as he was preparing for Romero, I think. So I was there. I was backstage, so I missed it. But my coach told me all about it. And hey, again, like, you know, people say, hey, you don't go slapping up pop stars. Yeah, look, I understand that. But he did say he was going to do it. So I went up to him. I go, wait, man, what happened with that? And he just said, he goes, yeah, man. I go, oh, you said you were going to do it. I go, hey, if they want to talk like that, and you know, again, man, that's not Zombie. So it was his team. So people can say what they want. It definitely was his team making him say that sort of stuff, and so the team got slapped up for it. So that's what's going to happen. You want to be fake? Get your bitch ass slapped. Fuck
it. Well, Alex,
excuse my French.
All good, all good. I really appreciate you taking the time. Just last one. How does UFC? I know you're not too big on a prediction guy or giving away your game plan, but what can people expect from the fight at UFC 260 between you and Brian Ortega?
Say that again. Sorry, I broke up.
No worries. I said I know you're not too much of like a prediction guy or giving away game plans or anything like that, but what can fans expect in the fight between you and Brian Ortega at UFC 260?
Well, man, like yeah, again, I won't give too much away, but at the same time, I told you I'm putting on a pace that no one can deal with. And we know he's got a great chin, and we know he's tough, and you know he's a goer. And even when he's hurt, and even when he's tired, he's still swinging. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities there. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to get the finish. And you know, I know he's tough, and he's a Sean Fitness. But again, I'm going to put a whole nother pace. That man, I'm in good nick, and you know the stuff I'm doing in the gym right now. You know, no one's going to be able to keep up. And you know, I think I'm getting him. You know, mid rounds. That's truly what I believe in. That's what I'm seeing. And yeah, again, I'm just gonna go out there and do my thing, but I'm expecting a mid rounds finish. That's what I want.
Awesome stuff, Alex. Really appreciate you doing this. Thank you so much for your time. Focus is on Brian Ortega. No more. I know no more Max Holloway questions from me. I promise you that. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right. Brian,
best of luck.
Let's go. Let's do it.